Welcome back to the farm. As you can see, a lot of work's been done. This is why I'm not made a video last week. Now, just a heads up, today's video is just going to be about many different things me just talking. So it's not going to be a central theme in today's video. So if you don't like that type of format, I apologize, but this is what's going to work for me this week. First off, as you can see, everything's winding down. A lot of the sunflowers have been removed because they were dead. I've already ground them up for mulch, as you see over in the grapes. You can see over with the orange tree. And that's just what I like to do. Some people actually leave the flowers up all winter to provide food sources. Well, I already know these guys have been eating because I've been seeing tons and tons of bees. Excuse me, birds. Wrong species. So I just went ahead and ground them up because I'm tired of looking at them. And I actually use that for mulch, as you see right there. But I also have more leaves coming, which is this another type of mulch. Doesn't matter what the mulch is, it's mulch. Moving on to my most important thing right now, the honeybees. And you can see lots of orientation flights, which is very good this time of year because population is starting to wind down. This is why mite control is very important, as well as making sure they have enough food stores for the winter. Now, I went in last Saturday, did a check on my super here. This is a 10 frame. Now they had all 10 frames drawn, meaning they had pulled out the wax and all the 10 frames. And on those frames, I could see half a frame was being worked on with honey, not capped. That is good. Means they're going to do well. Some beekeepers out here in my neck of the wood would say 16 frames, others will say 20 with supplement feeding. This depends on how hard of a winter you have. But if I have more than enough food stores, I don't have to worry about things. Which leads to the next important thing. Food sources for the honeybees / pollinators. As you see right here. This is not a native flower. I forget the name of it. It's a very lovely plant. You can see I have another one over here. I do need to water these guys. But the bees have been all over this because they need to have food sources. This is like you or me. And there's not a lot of flowers that bloom in the September to November months. Now I have added some native flowers here, as you see right here. And there's a little black butterfly feeding. This is good because that's going to generate even more interest for my garden. And you see those a monarch over there. Monarchs is now officially endangered. So it's very beneficial to have plants that they can feed on. And you see over there's some goldenrod blooming. Frost esters is another plant. Joe's pieweed, Vitex, is very popular for a lot of my beekeeping friends. Whatever that is. So you do want to make sure that the honeybees are being fed. If you have to, you can feed externally. But I don't like feeding externally. I found more problems with that. Also, the native flowers, not native bees, excuse me, will feed on the seeds as well. So it's very beneficial for that. Native fruit-bearing plants, such as elderberries. Now, as you know, elderberries are great for fighting flu, colds, but the birds will actually eat those as well. Even these berries, as you see right here, these are crabapple berries. Cedar Wet Springs love these berries in the winter. And they look great because they're red. But that's just something else not to discount. I even have huckleberries being made right here. These are actually garden huckleberries, the ones you find in Africa, not the ones up in North America, not in the far North America. Although I would like to have some, but I don't know if they do well. Okay, next thing. Garden cleanup. As you see right there, that sunflower is looking a little beat up. Well, we cut a bunch of sunflowers down over this past week, and you see the results of that. I just ran them through my chipper, made some mulch. Don't have to worry about buying mulch. You can see right there. If you have things like this, these shrubs have gotten beat up because of the sun, they die, whatever. Don't get upset about it. It happens. What you need to look for is see if they still have life. Because they have life down there. This is what we call a dieback event. You just trim this thing down and let the plant come back. Blueberries are notorious for this because they do not like being in direct sunlight. That was a design flaw that I didn't realize when I put in here. So as long as the plant has life, it will come back. This takes a little while. What else? Native plants that are edible. For example, this guy right here. If I can get to it without knocking over my face. Ammo. Okay, this is a local passion flower that we have out here. Passion fruit. And I actually seen the lady I got this from actually made lemonade with these fruits. So it's very useful. That could also help with shading. Now I'm actually going to plan to have some irrigation on this. And you see my honeyberries just got beat up. That's okay because they're still alive, so I just trim them down and they come back. What else? Potting soil. If you like these old pots right here, and you see I've been emptying some out without stepping on these pollinators. As you see right there, I still got some soil there. Like right there, that's pretty much done. This stuff's pretty much done. So what am I going to do with the soil? Well, I got a couple options. I can save it. Or I can just dump it in my garden beds, which is actually beneficial if I want to bulk up my soil. And you can see how low the soil is compared to that. So that's what I'm going to do. You can also bulk up any other pots that's low. Composting. If you have enough compost, go ahead and add it to your garden. It's perfectly fine. If you want to wait for the winter, the spring, you can also do that. This depends on how much you have. Now, I know for a fact I might have a lot of leaves coming down. I typically do. That is what I will use for my mulch. And I will also put some of it aside to make leaf mold with, which is great for gardens. Now, you don't need so much for your native plants. That's still beneficial to have. Also, if you're looking to get fertilizer, pot replacements, this is the time to start doing so. Also, something else, if you have some more pots you don't want to use, you just don't want to have them around the house, dump them off. You can dump them off at your local nursery. This to save some money. Or see if there's a, for example, a private nursery, somebody's more like a, a private business, small business. See if they'll be willing to take it off, because that saves them expense, and they may barter plants or whatever with you. What else? Also, don't think I talked about native flowers enough. Okay, going back to native flowers, since I skipped over it. These are good. I believe I said these are a good way to supplement for the honeybees. They also act as a energy source for the monarchs, I believe I said. The birds will also eat the seeds. The main reason is there's not a lot of flowers that bloom between September to November. This is a prime example. We call them frost asters. That is why I'm going over the importance of this. But I believe that's pretty much everything on my list. I'm doing this impromptu, so I apologize if I seem unstructured. Also, pruning the plant, any vines and trees, but that can wait till they go into dormancy. Yeah, I believe that's everything. Apologize for the word salad. This is Tulsa Urban Farmer. Thanks for joining. As always, feel free to like, sub, and comment.